Okay, we're getting ready to put this training back together. So this is out of my Chevy truck. This is it's a T5 Borg Warner training. Also Tremec T5. Tremec bought out Borg Warner, so this is a non-world class training. So I guess a couple years later they went to world class. The difference is, all I can tell is this has no needle bearings on the gears, whereas the world class training has needle bearings in there, I guess. So this is the older design. So. Oh well, whoopie-doo. So this here is the bearing. It goes here for supporting the counter shaft. It goes right here on this, right in that spot there. So it looks like they have a lip in here for probably having a bunch of goo in there, because they had a bunch of goo in there before. So probably should state that I've never done one of these before, so this is my first one. And I don't have a book, so I'm too lazy to go look online, so too bad. So we'll figure it all by myself. It's been about 3 days since I took it apart, so it's plenty of time to forget how it came apart. So it should make it interesting. So I was going to buy a bunch of parts and rebuild this thing, but me being me and cheap, and I don't really see anything wrong with any of the parts, except the synchro has a little bit of wear on the outside because the pinion shaft here was bouncing all over the place because there's no pilot bushing on it. So I'll just put this down here on the low gear side instead of on the high gear side. Whoopee. Everything else in this looks pretty good, so I'm not going to waste a bunch of time putting new parts in it. Just a pile of crap truck anyway. I did go to put seals in it, and then after this fiasco trying to get this one out, I said screw it, I'm not going to do this one. It wasn't leaking. Why screw with it? So first they sold me seals a lot bigger than this, and this goes in upside down. So to get this out, I don't know how you're supposed to get it out. You destroy it getting out. So they didn't come out. So I wanted to have them to cut it out of my lathe. So I just started boring away until the seal finally just popped out. So I don't know how you're going to get those out without destroying them, because once you destroy the slip up in here where the seal goes, it'll leak. So anyway, we'll push that back in and use that. That's the only new seals going in this thing. So this one's fine. I'm staying with it. The other problem I had was the speedometer drive gear, this electronic speedo, and nobody seems to have any parts for doing these, and can't find any information on it. All I know is this gear was rattled around on the main shaft. It was all eaten up over here by the splines down here. So I went ahead and made me up a bushing here in the lathe. I'll turn the gear down for a second. Okay. Yeah, nice and graceful there, wasn't that? So this is the speedo gear that was on there. It goes right here. This is our speed sensor over here. It goes right here and reads it. It's a mag sensor, and it goes inside the tranny right here, over here in the tail housing. And then what I couldn't figure out was how in the hell you held this thing on there, because this is splined, this is not, and this is splined. These two here are basically the same, and this is undersized. So to get over this, it'll be a slip fit here. And all I see is a little hole here for like a roller or something would go in it. But there doesn't seem to be anything that retains this in any books I found. I even went to the dealership and they couldn't really help me much, but it took us about 15 minutes to even find a picture of one, and it wasn't much of a picture. So what I did, I went ahead and turned it down, made it round, bored the hole out basically. Then I made this split bushing here. So this basically is the same size as the ID this, with about a thou press. And then this here has about the same thou press on the shaft here. And I put a split in it so I can expand it to go over this. Hopefully once I get it back down here, I'll be able to close it, back up, and push the gear onto it. Anyway, that's the plan. We'll see how that goes. But you can't put this on until you put the training together, so I have to put the training together before I see if this works. And I'll use sleeve retainer Loctite to retain this, so it'll hold on pretty good. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. When I cut the slot in here, the press fit kind of went away a little bit, but it's basically zero fit right now. That's how much press fit it is. So Anyway, that'll be a fun project to figure that out. So right now I'm getting ready to go ahead and start putting this thing back together. If I knew I had to put seal on this last night, I would have put it in last night and let it sit overnight. But I'll have to wait until I put the whole train together, then I'll put some snot in here. I'm not doing it right now, that's for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and press this on over here in the mill, in the press over here. I've already previously cleaned all the silicone and crap off the train that was in there. So right now this is as much stuff you need to take out. This is a magnet down here. It was all full of a bunch of mung. So other than that, we're fine. So we're going to go ahead and put that right there. Pressing tool. Go ahead and press this down. Alright, so that appears to be in there. It's flush. I'm assuming that's where it's supposed to be. All I know is I had to beat it out with a big hammer. So, I don't know, that doesn't quite look right there, but all I know is if it's not flush, this won't fit, especially when the seal falls out. So it has to be flush or this doesn't go on, so that pretty well dictates where it's going to be. See, a little bit of common sense goes a long ways in figuring this crap out. Alright, so that's in there. And to make sure that stays put a little bit, I'm going to go over here and get me some Loctite. Get my capillary action Loctite here. So this will go in there and seal the case. Something they didn't have back when they built this tranny. So basically this is this will sleep in with capillary action, go inside any orifice that's available to go into and seal it up. So all I usually do is I put a little bit of a drop here on the end of the screwdriver, like that. And you just kind of poke it in the hole here where you want it to go, like that. And this stuff will seep right in there and seal it. It'll actually wick around the hole outside this race here and go in there and seal any spot at all that will go, you know, that has a little gash in aluminum or whatever. It'll seal it up pretty good. So at an angle a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put another little drop on there just to make sure it has enough. And we'll do the same thing again. Boom. So it doesn't take much to get it to wick around. Don't know if you can see it wicking around, but it's slowly making its way down around the whole thing. Doesn't look like it's filling in a lot of stuff, so we'll give it some more, one more drop. So at some point you'll have enough in there to do what you need to do with it. You look for the little reflection on the sides there, you can see it down there in the bottom. It's all the way down to here right now. And you can see it down to here right now here. So it'll be slowly merging pretty soon. Okay, so while it's doing that, I'll go ahead and get the rest of the stuff ready to go together. Now this pan here has all the small parts that I cleaned up. So all my little dogs and clips and stuff here are fine, so I couldn't see any reason to replace it. There's nothing wrong with any of it. So we'll go with that. Okay, so right now it looks like this has sucked all the way around the whole thing. So we'll go ahead and leave that for now. Okay, next thing is I got to get the counter shaft in here because that's what came out last. Last part out, it's first part in. So we can go ahead and lube up the bearing hole in here. Get some lubricant in here. Some semi-lube. A little bit on the reverse gear here. Get the stuff pre-lubed. And I'm going to put this in. So we're going to change our camera position here so we can get a better idea where we're at. Hopefully you can see what is going on better. Because I know I can't do this with one hand. So just have to make do. Okay, that one's good. Alright, now this here was the other bearing, I think, went over here. That'd be my guess anyway. Alright. This heavy part. Put a little bit of oil on the bearing surfaces. One thrust washer right here. We'll leave that in there. Okay, this basically just goes in here at an angle like this. Kind of wiggle around until it drops in. Trying to keep your fingers off to being pinched, obviously. Okay, that goes in like that. Took a little while to figure that out when it's taken apart. Okay, now this here's our other bearing here. So this here goes right in here, and you get to beat it in. There it goes. So I'm going to put some lubricant on this also. You can put all this stuff together dry, but it wouldn't be very good for the training. You first got it running. If you can hear the stuff wobbling around inside, it's dry. See, now it's nice and oiled up, so it should be good to go. Alright, looks like we're getting a rest break. Be back.